Saint Nicholas and the Krampus. Long ago, a small village lay deep in the Bavarian Alps, wrapped in a winter that had spread itself over the entire landscape like a silent, white cloth. Snow covered the rooftops, the fir trees, and the winding paths, and only the light of the moon and the warm glow from the simple wooden houses and the village church broke through the darkness. It was the evening of December 6th, and the villagers knew that something special would soon take place. As in every year, they awaited an extraordinary visitor, and everyone watched with anticipation for the miracle that was about to come. For on this evening, as on every December 6th, St. Nicholas appeared in the village to bring small gifts to the good and kind-hearted children. With a gentle smile, St. Nicholas approached them as he handed out the presents, and the large staff in his hand seemed like a sign of protection and benevolence. The children rejoiced every time they received their gifts, and St. Nicholas, in turn, took joy in the goodness of their hearts, which touched him deeply. For a moment, the entire village was filled with a special warmth that made even the icy winter nights seem gentle. In this way, the evening became one of those moments when kindness, light, and joy embraced the whole village more strongly than ever. But then another child pushed his way forward. It was a boy named Peter, whom everyone in the village simply called Evil Peter. He certainly had not behaved well. On the contrary, he was a little tyrant who bullied and beat the other children. He showed neither respect nor consideration, not even toward his parents or the traditions of the village and his country. Everyone in the village despised him, and even his parents were at a loss. Now Evil Peter stood directly before St. Nicholas with a stern and demanding look, and in a commanding tone he shouted, "Come on, give me my presents already. I'm not waiting any longer." But Nicholas remained calm. In a quiet voice he said, "You too shall receive something, Peter, something very special, something no other child in the village will receive." Then he added, "But I will not give it to you myself. My companion is waiting for you behind the hut." With an outstretched arm, Nicholas pointed to the wooden hut just behind Evil Peter. Without hesitation, the boy turned and marched toward it, unaware of what awaited him there. For behind the hut stood Krampus, the dark companion of Nicholas, whose task was to punish misbehaving children. With eyes glowing red and his wild, shaggy body, he bent over Evil Peter. Before the boy could flee, Krampus grabbed him and held him tightly. Furious, Evil Peter screamed for Nicholas, demanding that he order Krampus to release him, but his cries were ignored. Krampus paid no attention to his words either. Instead, he lifted his bundle of thin birch twigs and began the punishment. Again and again he struck Evil Peter with it. The boy howled in pain and begged desperately for Krampus to stop, but the grim companion was not swayed. His task was clear, and he fulfilled it without hesitation. Only after some time did Krampus stop beating him. Evil Peter hoped he would now finally be set free. But to his horror, Krampus simply lifted him up and stuffed him into the large basket he carried on his back. Without saying a word, Krampus set off and disappeared with firm steps into the dark trees of the forest. Evil Peter screamed in terror and desperately tried to climb out of the basket and run away, but an invisible force held him in place. Krampus trudged unrelentingly through the gloomy forest, and Evil Peter felt that his end was drawing ever closer. Then Krampus suddenly stopped, and before him a gate of blazing flames opened. It was an entrance to hell. From the fiery opening, several demons stared out, as if they had been waiting for Evil Peter to be brought to them at last, their twisted faces curled into mocking and horrifying grins. Without hesitation, Krampus stepped toward the gate and passed through it. Evil Peter screamed in mortal fear, his voice breaking as the hellfire surged toward him and the demons drew nearer. Only when the gate closed behind them and the flames vanished did Evil Peter's screams fall silent in the world of humans. From that moment on, he remained gone, forever, and his fate stayed in everyone's memory as a warning example of the consequences of evil deeds.